number one, do you think cooperating about someone who's dead, is that considered snitching in your book?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
I spoke to Lou a couple days ago, and Lucci fighting too, bro, you know.
Is there anything Thug could say about Gunna to make people look at it different? Like, he didn't snitch on me.
Thug probably could come home and tell somebody else that.
Yeah.
He couldn't tell me that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He can tell everybody else that. Like, I stick to the code, bro. Like, that's with anything, bro. Like, Follow was my partner, bro. Like, I had a good respect for that dude, bro. Like,
he be home soon, though, from what I heard from what I read.
Shit, I don't know. Look like he talking, you know? And I had a real respect for gangsta and the stories I heard about him, but, you know, that shit leave with me. You know, I have no type of respect for him anymore.
I wasn't gonna address this, because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family to come out to the Amarant Arena, February 13th.
She's privileged to what's called the affidavits in support of the wiretaps.
Okay.
It's like 3 affidavits. In those affidavits, it tells Meech's full role. Now, I wouldn't allow to have them because they played this, I'm this kingpin and I'm this killer, and they life in jeopardy.
Right.
In danger.
Right.
That's why they was able to close the courtroom. We'd have been out at Meech. But they played a cold game. I give it to her. And they was playing chess and we was playing checkers.
Okay.
She used the threat of her life and that I was gonna have some hitmen in the federal courtroom to kill her. And they closed the courtroom to the media. My shit standing room only. I'm that dude in that city, homie.
Right.
I'm that dude in that city.
Right.
So that's why they ain't been came out. But the affidavits in support of the wiretap, she has them.
So she can get them for sure.
If she got them.
Okay.
She got them. The only person they barred from having the documents was me.
Okay. So you the only one that don't got the information.
Right.
Gotcha.
Everybody else, it's called discovery. Everybody else got the pack.
Yo, what's up, people? We is back. Another day on Keep It G News. And we got to talk about Boosie Badass. Now, y'all, I've told y'all on numerous occasions, especially if you're from my city. If you from Baltimore and you came up in the late 90s, early 2000s, you know that Boosie had a major impact on the city of Baltimore, man. Matter of fact, if you let Boosie tell it, a lot of his fans are dead.
Everybody who came up on my music and all the shit I was talking about, they dead or they locked up or trying to stay alive and teach their children not to be what they were.
No, a lot of his fans are in prison, partly because the music that he was spitting out there. So you always would expect Boosie to stand on morals, stand on principle, stand on what he said in his music. Because he's one of them guys that's well aware of the effects that his music has presented to certain communities all across the United States. And I'm sure Baltimore isn't the only city that Boosie touched the way he touched, because back then Boosie had that music you could feel. Boosie had relatable music. You know, some of his music spoke to what you was going through at the moment. So we always held Boosie at a high regard. As a matter of fact, one of the artists from my city, shout out to Young Moose, he wound up linking up with Boosie. And that was major for the city. And Boosie has also been one of the leaders when it comes down to the no snitch rule. Now, I believe the no snitch rule isn't a street rule. I believe it's about integrity. Whenever you join any entity, any organization, there's going to be rules and regulations that you must abide by. And when it come down to the community, when it come down to the streets, when it come down to just anything, you know, at work, nobody likes to work right. Nobody likes to snitch in government. Like I told y'all, Edward Snowden, one of the biggest snitches that we probably ever seen. And he can't step foot in America. But Boosie was always one of them guys that held that standard. You heard him speak about it. He ain't rocking with Gunna. He called out Rilo. He just told Rilo not too long ago that he ain't making it juicy for nobody. He talked about Gangsta and how once these allegations came down on Gangsta, and mind you, y'all, Gangsta was the guy in New Orleans. You understand what I'm saying? I call him Terrence now. But before Terrence did what he did, he was known as Gangsta. Gangsta Williams. The Hot Boys. Was revered in the streets of New Orleans. And from Boosie words himself, he said none of that matters no more. He got zero respect for him. You even seen Baby cut him off. BG cut him off. These was guys that, you understand, ran with him one way or another. But now we got this Big Meech situation. And Big Meech is throwing the show. And I told y'all, whoever performs at this show that's supposed to stand on what they say, you know, stand on what they rap in their music, I'm going to hold them accountable. And one of the people I highlighted in that video was Boosie Badass. So I've been waiting for him to speak. I promise you, I've been sitting back, patiently waiting, because I want to see what he got to say. Well, guess what, y'all? Boosie is now streaming. And during this stream, the question came up. Boosie, what you going to do? You slated to perform at this Meech concert. Is you going to go? Listen to what Boosie said, y'all.
Performing at the Big Meech party. Yeah, I'm performing. I gave Big Meech my word, you know, that I was gonna perform, and I ain't, you know, I give a man my word, that's my word. You know, I don't know what's going on, you know, I can't just pull away from not performing over something, you know, they got going on with him and 50 and all this going on. You know, I just can't, after I gave the man my word, you know, if something was to come out and I feel it's factual, I'll stand on it. But, you know, not in no last minute because something going on social media, you know. I don't know no facts of it.
You know they say never meet your idols. Now I ain't gonna lie, ain't none of these guys my idols. But we gotta add to that rule, man. Don't listen to rappers. A lot of these rappers are flawed. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little hurt to see Boosie carried this way. Now I don't know about the contract negotiations and how that worked, but I'm sure he can give him his money back. It ain't never too late to stand on morals. It ain't never too late to stand on principles. And per Boosie words himself, he don't deal with rats. Now, I know people like to act like that this Meech situation is kind of confusing. You know, we covered it numerous times on this channel where it might be confusing to some because this is not the year 1999 no more. You know, snitching is more vague now. You know, they do a better job of hiding it. But where there's smoke, there's fire. And it's a lot of smoke around Meech right now. And if I knew Meech in my real life, in my day-to-day, it'd be enough smoke for me to back away from it. I don't want to die from smoke inhalation. Because Meech damn near on fire. You understand what I'm saying? You got Cuffy, who's speaking out, who's an honorable man. I ain't heard nothing bad about him. The guys in St. Louis is vouching. They even calling out 42 Dugg, you know, because he one of them guys that supposed to stand on what they say. And it ain't nothing wrong with holding people accountable. And that's all this is, holding people accountable. This what you said you was about? Stand on it. Don't pick and choose when it's beneficial. That's like the guy that only pick on the weak. Or the guy that just put their hands on women. But when you see them in an argument with a man, things go totally different. There wasn't no smoke. All the anger and frustration that they display towards women is non-existent now. Where's the same energy? Boosie is selective politicking. Selective politicking. What do you mean? Oh, it's going on the internet. You know, I ain't heard nothing substantial. What? You got a whole man with 27 years speaking out. You got Tammy. You got 50. You got the paperwork. Read it. But what I learned about this thing called no snitch rule is they only let it apply to people that they really ain't got no business dealings with. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't really beneficial to me to rock with Rilo. Rilo ain't got no motion in the rap game. Man, Gunna styles really don't mix anyway. We really can't do no song together. But since it's Big Meech, and since this allure that Big Meech then accumulated over his lifetime, you know, world-renowned drug trafficker, state to state, city to city, now it's okay. The BMF parties, everybody want to be a part of them. This their chance. They ain't going to miss it for nobody. But I'd rather Boosie say that than to say, I gave him my word. Because just like you gave him your word, you can take your word back. Because you don't owe no loyalty to somebody that got snitch allegations around their name. That's law. It ain't like he's an honorable man. If he was an honorable man, I would completely understand standing on my word. But from what we hear about this whole situation, especially with Cuffy, a guy that was cool with this man for decades, he ain't honorable. I talked about Ty White, looking at that case. Got videos on it. Something ain't right. And I refuse to believe that Tammy was moving on her own. I refuse to believe it. It doesn't make sense. It don't even work that way. You can't just walk into the federal building and say, look, I'm trying to give this person a time cut and I'm willing to work, without this person co-signing. It's common sense. But let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments. Are y'all surprised with Boosie? Or have we seen this before? You know, QCP come to mind. But make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the video. It's another day of Keep It G News, and I'm out.